Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. So this is our fourth video on the unit 3, that is P block elements. So we were discussing about the compounds of group 13 elements. For now, in this video, we'll be starting with halides. We'll be discussing everything about halides of group 13 elements. So firstly, we are picking up the trihalides. So most common are the trihalides of group 13 elements. These are having general formula of MX3, where M represents the group 13 element. So halides are generally for group 13 elements, trihalides are formed and monohalides are formed. So firstly, we'll be discussing about the trihalides of boron. So first we are picking up BF3. So that is boron trifluoride. So firstly, we'll be doing its preparation. So this BF3 molecule, compound BF3 is prepared from the fluorination of boric oxide and borate with fluorspar. Fluorspar is CaF2 in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. So this is boric oxide and this is borate, sodium borate, which will be treated with fluorspar in the presence of H2SO4 to give us BF3, that is boron trifluoride. So this is how this BF3 is prepared. So next we have here this is the next preparation for BF3 is by the action of HF on B2O3. So whenever HF reacts with B2O3, we'll get boron trifluoride. Other trihalides of boron can be prepared by direct halogenation of their oxides in the presence of the boric oxide in the presence of carbon. Carbon will act as a reducing agent and it itself will oxidize to carbon monoxide. And for the preparation of boron triiodide, it will react sodium borohydride with iodine and will get Bi3. Also, this boron triiodide can be prepared from boron trichloride, which will react it with hydrogen iodide and will get Bi3. Now, coming to the physical properties of trihalides, here we can see that BF3 is gas, BCl3 is also gaseous, and BBr3 is volatile liquid, and Bi3 is solid. Now, why it is so? So the as we are moving from left to right, what is happening is there is an increase in size. So with increase in size, there is increase in van der Waals forces, and with increase in the magnitude of van der Waals forces, the physical state is changing from gaseous to solid. These all are covalent in nature due to the small size of boron. These halides are covalent in character because smaller the cation, more is going to be the polarization, more is going to be the covalent character. So now next is the hydrolysis. All boron halides except for BF3 are hydrolyzed by water to give boric acid. From all the halides will get boric acid. For all the halides of boron will get boric acid, but except for BF3. Now the reason for that BF3 is not hydrolyzed to give BOH, that is boric acid, is because the strength of BF bond is stronger in comparison to that of BOH bond, while in other halides, the BOH bond, which will be formed in boric acid, will be are stronger in comparison to the BX bond. So so ऐसा क्या है BF3 molecule में? There is a structure is like that that boron और fluorine के बीच में जो bonds हैं in BF3, these are having partial double bond character due to p-pi बॉन्डिंग, और जो वो बॉन्डिंग है उसको हम बोलते हैं बैक डोनेशन. ये जो बैक डोनेशन का कॉन्सेप्ट है, इसके कारण जो बोरॉन ट्राइक्लोराइड में बॉन्डिंग है, बॉन्ड स्ट्रेंथ बहुत ज्यादा हो जाती है, विच वी कैनॉट ब्रेक and which cannot lead to the formation of boric acid on the treatment of BF3 with water. So in actual what happens is BF3 molecule undergoes partial hydrolysis. It will react with water to give H3BO3 and HF. It will form like in others, like in the hydrolysis of other compounds. This HX was getting formed when we reacted BX3 with H2O. We get the formation of boric acid and HX. Here also we'll get the formation of HF, but HF will further react with H3BO3 and will get fluoroboric acid, as we discussed earlier, that boric acid reacts with HF to give even stronger acid, that is fluoroboric acid. Here, this the driving force for the formation of this fluoroboric acid is that here for this formation, the energy released is higher is sufficient for the breakage of BF bonds. So this is how it happens. So yes, the trifluoride of boron undergo hydrolysis, which is called as partial hydrolysis, which we can call to give boric acid and fluoroboric acid. So further we have reaction of BX3, that is where X is chlorine and bromine. They can react with ammonia, alcohol, and here are the reactions with ammonia, alcohol, and RMGX. So we'll get corresponding acids will be released and we'll get triamide, boron triamide, and these are the compounds which we'll get. So further we have hybridization and structure of BX3. So boron is having electronic configuration in ground state 2s2 2p1, in excited state it will be 2s1 2p2, and there are four 1s 2p and 1p is vacant. So these four orbitals will undergo hybridization to give, sorry, these three orbitals will undergo 1s and 2p orbital will undergo hybridization to give sp2 hybridized orbital and 1p orbital which will be left vacant. So this vacant 2p orbital is having a lot of significant, many properties are there. Due to this, the Lewis acidic character of PF3 molecule is due to the presence of this vacant 2p orbital, which we'll be discussing in a while. So for hybridization, it is sp2 hybridized. Trigonal planar is going to be the geometry and bond angle is going to be 120 degree as it is a planar molecule. So BF3 are electron deficient compounds because this I have already told you, because of the presence of vacant 2p orbital. So it will behave as Lewis acid. So it will form various Lewis acid base adducts with different Lewis bases, or we can say with different electron donor compounds. So here L is an ligand which can act as Lewis base. So it will donate its electron pair to boron, and boron will be able to complete its octet and it will form a stable adduct like this. So this is how it reacts with ammonia. It gives its lone pair F negative. Here this is ether. So this is how it reacts with Lewis bases and will get the formation of Lewis acid base adduct. Now coming to the relative strength of trihalides of Lewis acids. Trihalides as Lewis acid. So these trihalides, here we have BF3, BCl3, BBr3. Now looking at these trihalides, we can say that this fluorine is most electronegative. So as boron is already electron deficient, fluorine will tend to attract the electron density towards itself from boron, and it will make boron more electron deficient. That is it will increase the Lewis acidic character of boron to a great extent in comparison to chlorine and bromine. So we will see that BF3 is most acidic and chlorine is then there will come BCl3, then we'll have BBr3. But actually the order is exactly the reverse. This order, which we predict on the basis of electron activity of the halogen atom, is wrong. The actual order is BBr3 is most acidic, then comes BCl3, and then comes BF3. So the reason for this is the presence of vacant 2p orbital. Due to the presence of vacant 2p orbital, there is a back donation of electrons from the halogen atom to the and halogen atoms are having filled 2p orbitals. They are having lone pairs. So there is a back donation of electrons from the halogens to the boron atom. So this is the empty 2p orbital which has been shown in green color. Here these are the three sp2 hybridized orbital which has been bonded with BF3 molecule. So here we have shown the filled 2p orbitals of fluorine, and this is the vacant 2p orbital of boron. So this is how back donation takes place, and due to this back donation there becomes a partial double bond character in the BF bond. So now as we can say that boron is having 2p orbital, fluorine is having electron density in 2p orbital. So here in BF3 there is overlap of 2p orbital in the back donation bond, and in case of BCl3 there is a overlap of 2p and 3p, and in case of BBr3 there is overlap of 2p and 4p. So maximum overlap takes place whenever the orbitals are of comparable size. So most efficient overlap will be there in the case of BF3. So that is why boron's electron deficiency is fulfilled, because there is a maximum overlap. There is a maximum shifting of electron density from this fluorine to boron in case of BF3. But in case of BCl3 or BBr3, Due to the bigger size of 3p and 4p orbital in comparison to the 2p orbital of boron, what will happen? The overlap is not going to be that efficient and electron density is going to be not shifted towards boron to that extent. So the boron of BCl3 and BBr3 are still electron deficient as this overlap is least in case of BBr bond. So this boron is most electron deficient now, and then comes BCl and then come BF. So the order of Lewis acidic strength has got reversed. That is why it has got reversed. So BBr3 is most acidic, then comes BCl3 and then comes BF3. Uh, so this is the reason, because there is a back donation, and whenever there is wherever there is a maximum extent of back donation, there will be least acidic character for BF3. So if we talk about other trihalides, as say we have trihalides of boron, aluminium, gallium, and indium. So say we have chlorides or we have bromides. So the order of acidic strength is going to be that boron ones are going to be most acidic. If we see the Lewis acidic character due to the smaller size of the central atom. Smaller the size of the central atom, more is going to be the Lewis acidic strength. So next we have aluminium trihalides. So aluminium forms trihalides. Out of these, the fluorine one, that is AlF3, is ionic, and AlCl3, AlBr3, and AlI3 are covalent in character. For the preparation of AlF3, it is prepared by the reaction of Al2O3, where it is reacted with gaseous HF at 700 degrees Celsius. Will get the formation of AlF3. Also, the other halogens, that is other halides of aluminium, trihalides of aluminium, are obtained by the direct combination of the metal aluminium and the halogen gas. So for the formation of anhydrous AlCl3 at large scale, what is done is alumina is treated with dry chlorine gas in the presence of carbon and will get the formation of AlCl3. So AlCl3 is actually a dimeric, it exists as dimer. So in crystalline state, anhydrous AlCl3 has closely packed layered structure with coordination number of 6. At around its melting point, that is in molten state, or we can say in non-polar solvent, it will, or to some extent at low temperature in the vapor state, it exists in the dimeric existence. It has dimeric existence. So it exists in the form of dimer. This is how the dimer is formed, where aluminium is sp3 hybridized. It is forming 4 bonds with tetrahedral geometry and coordination number of 4. So this is a similar type of bonding as in DF3, but here it exists as dimer. So 3p, this bonding takes place due to the vacant 3p orbital, which is with aluminium, and the filled 3p orbitals of chlorine. There is an overlap and this dimer is formed. So and the hybridization changes from in the monomer it was sp2 and in the dimer it is sp3. So this is the same case happens with AlBr3. It also exists in the form of dimer. So now the question arises, why for BX3 we studied that BF3, BCl3 and BBr3 they exist as monomer, but for halides of aluminium, that is AlCl3 and AlBr3, they are existing as dimer. So why this is so? So the reason behind is that boron being very small in size, it won't be able to coordinate with 4 large sized halides. It will be happy with its coordination number to be smaller, to be 3, not 4. But now further we can say that it can be the case that for fluorine, if it is fluorine is small, then why not the dimer of just the BF3 cannot exist as dimer. So BF3 should exist as dimer. If the size is the issue, say if we agree that boron cannot coordinate with large size fluorine and bromine, but it can coordinate with 4 of fluorine because they are having comparable size. So the reason behind this, then in case of BF3, when it is in the form of monomer, there is extensive back bonding, due to which there is a double bond character, partial double bond character in the BF bonds. So for the formation of dimer, what we'll have to do is we'll have to change the geometry, we'll have to change the hybridization from sp2 to sp3, and we'll have to shift the bond angles, we'll have to break the BF bond, and we'll have to make the adjustments. So a lot of energy would be required for that, and we'll have to change the structure from planar to the tetrahedral one. So that is why the dimer is not formed, because the energy released for the formation of dimer for B2H6 as dimer, and the energy required for the breakage of the F bond is much higher than the energy released when the dimer is going to be formed. So that is why BF3 exists as monomer, and all the halides of boron exist as monomers due to the small size of boron. Next we have trihalides of gallium, indium, and thallium. So these trihalides are having very high temperatures. So these trihalides are prepared from the corresponding this compound, that's ammonium MF6. So this is heated to 120 to 170 degrees Celsius, we'll get ammonium MF4, and then these are converted to MF3 for where M represents these gallium and indium. So these are the this is the preparation for the trifluoride for gallium and indium, and these trifluorides are having high melting points. They are very stable crystalline compounds. Next we have TlCl3. It is having a melting point of 155 degrees Celsius. Cl3 here, thallium is in +3 oxidation state, but in case of TlI3, here thallium is in +1 oxidation state and not +3. This is because here iodine is in the form of a linear chain where whole charge on the iodine is I3 is 1 negative. So here thallium is in +1 oxidation state. So thallium iodide triiodide resembles the structure of ammonium triiodide and cesium triiodide, where I3 is having the whole I3 is having a single negative charge. Also, we have lower halides or we call them subhalides. These are formed in gaseous phase at high temperature. Out of the subhalides, or we can say monohalides, we have thallium fluoride, which is an ionic compound. बाकी सारे हेलाइड्स जो होंगे वो कोवेलेंट नेचर के होंगे. बाकी सारे जितने भी लोअर हेलाइड्स होंगे या सब हेलाइड्स होंगे वो कोवेलेंट कैरेक्टर होगा उनका. बट थैलियम फ्लोराइड इज द ओनली सब हेलाइड और ओनली लोअर हेलाइड which is ionic in character. Next we have B2Cl4 here. This is the most extensively studied subhalide. So this is prepared by passing BCl3 gas through electric discharge. What we do is we pass this BCl3 through electric discharge within the mercury electrodes, and we'll get the formation of B2Cl4, which is having a structure like this, and rotation around BB bond is free there. So for this type of compound for M2Cl4 for gallium, indium, and thallium, these are actually ionic and they exist in the form of this. I have already discussed that they are having formula G, where one gallium is in +1 oxidation state and other gallium is in +3 oxidation state. So these are not having the oxidation state of +2 actually, which can be average of 1 and 3, but here one metal is in +1 oxidation state and other is in +3 oxidation state. So next we have, so this is how these are prepared. Also, we can prepare the dihalides via the reduction of these trihalides. So further we have monohalides. Boron form polymeric these monohalides, B2Cl4. When it is again passed through electric discharge is passed through mercury electrodes, we'll get the formation of this polymeric compound, that is B4Cl4. This undergoes slow decomposition to give a mixture of BnCl, BnClN, where N varies from 8 to 12. So here these are the known solid crystalline compounds for boron: B4Cl4, B4Cl8, B9Cl. Out of these, we have shown here the structure of B4Cl4. So this is having a closed cage-like structure where boron atoms are bonded together to form a cage, and each boron is bonded to fluorine further. So also the thallium forms stable monohalides. Halides, out of the halides of thallium, monohalides are more stable than the trihalides of thallium. So this is how the monohalides of thallium are prepared. These are prepared from the oxides, hydroxides, or the carbonates. So these carbonates are reacted with HF, we get thallium fluoride, and here hydroxide is reacted with HNO3, we get thallium nitrate, which further reacts with NaCl to give thallium fluoride. So out of the monohalides of thallium, the thallium fluoride and thallium fluoride are white in color, and thallium bromide and thallium iodide are yellow in color. So these are all crystalline solids. So that is it for this video. We have discussed everything about the halides of group 13 elements. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.